In the quiet valleys of Thafamasi in Ndwedwe in KwaZulu-Natal, life moves slowly. Families know one another. Doors are often left unlocked, and neighbors grow old together in the very same homes they've lived in for decades. But on a warm Tuesday afternoon, at exactly 12 minutes past 3, the peace of the small community was shattered by a tragedy so violent, so heartbreaking, that residents are still struggling to understand how could it have happened. This is the story of a son, a Rondavel, and a murder that has left Ndwedwe reeling. This is the story of Mr. Mziwamandla and his wife Phumzile Rachel Ngcobo. Welcome to True Crime Julia. On this channel, we look into true crime cases that have happened in South Africa. This story broke on Tuesday last week, and the Ngcobos were laid to rest this past weekend. Please note that as such, the story is based on allegations. Let us get into the story.
Bomb control 345 Bomb is right.
The home sits on a quiet piece of rural land, a main house, and next to it, a small Rondavel which is used as a kitchen, a familiar sight in KwaZulu-Natal's countryside. Inside the Rondavel, officers would soon discover a scene of unimaginable horror. The victims were well known in the area. Mziwamandla Ngcobo was 79 years old, and his wife Phumzile Rachel Ngcobo was 74 years old. They are a gentle couple, respected, they are elderly, and they are approaching the final years of their lives together. But on this day, their lives would be taken, not by a stranger, but by the one person they have raised and loved. At about 20 minutes past 1 in the afternoon, Reaction Unit South Africa, RUSA, received a call from a local councillor. The councillor reported something almost unbelievable. An elderly couple has been murdered. Their son won't let anyone inside. Neighbors had tried to help. They saw the commotion. They heard the shouting. But every time they approached the home, the 43-year-old son forced them back at knife point. He kept the neighbors outside. He kept them away. And inside the Rondavel, his parents lay in a pool of blood. RUSA dispatched officers and paramedics. They sped 33 kilometers from their headquarters to the scene. When officers arrived, they found the son standing in front of the Rondavel. He wasn't running. He wasn't hiding. He was waiting. RUSA officers apprehended him before entering the small Rondavel, and that's when they saw it, the aftermath of the brutal attack. Inside the Rondavel, the bodies of Mziwamandla and Phumzile lay on the floor. They had suffered multiple stab wounds, severe facial injuries, and signs of blunt force trauma caused by firewood logs found nearby. A knife, believed to be the murder weapon, lay close to their bodies. Paramedics could only confirm the worst. The couple had died on the scene. The son, who had been preventing neighbors from entering, was injured. He wasn't stabbed by anyone. He wasn't attacked. He had attacked himself. He had deep wounds to his throat and abdomen, apparently in an attempt to self-exit immediately after the murder. RUSA treated him on the scene. They stabilized him before continuing with the investigation. There were unconfirmed reports circulating among neighbors that he struggled with a lot of personal issues, but authorities could not verify this at the time. Police from Ndwedwe were at the scene. Inside the Rondavel, investigators documented they found pools of blood covering the floor, a knife with blood traces, firewood logs with visible markings, signs of a violent struggle. This was not a quick attack. It was not a single moment of impulse. It was prolonged, it was violent, and it was deeply personal. Authorities chose to withhold some footage due to how graphic the scene was. Even seasoned responders described the sight as deeply disturbing. As word spread through Thafamasi, neighbors gathered outside the property in disbelief. This was a couple respected by everyone, people who had lived peacefully for decades. Residents struggled with one question: how could a son do this to his own parents? Some whispered about health issues, some spoke of stress or family tensions. Others stood in silence, too shocked to say anything at all. The community was grieving, not only for the victims, but for the family torn apart in a single afternoon. The police in Ndwedwe released a brief and emotional statement. They said they were deeply saddened by the senseless act of violence. Our thoughts are with the family and the community during this difficult time, they said. The suspect was taken into custody for double murder and possession of a murder weapon, among others. The motive remains officially under investigation. No one knows what triggered the attack. No one knows what was said inside that Rondavel, and no one may ever fully understand why a son turned so violent against the two people who gave him life. The Rondavel that once served as a humble, warm kitchen is now a symbol of tragedy. What remains is a small structure, quiet and still, carrying the weight of unimaginable violence. In a place where family bonds run deep and neighbors rely on one another, this double murder has left a wound in the heart of Ndwedwe. Two elderly parents, gone in the most brutal way imaginable. A son is in custody, injured and facing a lifetime behind bars. And a community is left with questions that may never find answers.
Papa Control 345, Farmview Drive.
So what are your thoughts on this one? What do you think happened in the Ngcobo home on that day? Let us please leave red hearts in the comments for the family. Please keep safe. I will see you on the next one.